I had a really good conversation with a guy called Mitch, and 3 years ago he'd been going to church and so on, but he hadn't for a while. And I asked him whether he thought he was going to go to heaven. He thought he was, because he's a decent bloke. He loves everybody. He doesn't harm anyone. So I went through the law of God, showed him that he actually has sinned against God and hasn't really loved everyone all the time. And he thought, oh, but surely God's going to let me in because he's repented. He said sorry to God for his sins. And so I brought him to an analogy of a just judge in a courtroom. A judge in a courtroom can't let someone go free simply because they say sorry. So in the same way with God, simply if we say sorry to God, he can't let us go free automatically. And so then I asked him, how are you going to have your sins forgiven? And he said, I have no idea at all. So then I brought him through the gospel, explained how Jesus has died on the cross, provided the substitute for us. He could take the punishment we deserve in hell. He could take it for us on the cross. And explain that it's faith alone that saves, nothing else, no good works. And so he was thinking through that, and he's like, okay, so it's not because of what I've done that I can be saved, but because of what he's done. And it seemed to all click in his mind, which it was great to see. And so he even said to me, look, wow, I've been enlightened, this is great. And I just praise God for this. I just pray that he is genuine, that God would now grow him in his faith, and I really encourage him to start reading the Bible. He said he had one.
Glenn and I had a great evening down here on the Gold Coast, handing out tracts to lots of people. It's been a little bit chillier night, but we've had a few conversations with different people. We had a gentleman, a Hindu gentleman over here from India, visiting his son, and we got to share the gospel with him. Glenda mainly talked to this gentleman, and we're just trying to bring to him that there's only one God. He believed in multi-gods, but we were saying there's only one God. So we hopefully planted some seeds in this gentleman's life, and we gave him tracts, and we said to him, especially with the comic tract that we hand out to most people, that we planted that he has a conscience, and to take himself through this tract, the 10 Commandments, and just let his conscience speak when he asks himself if he's lied or stolen and that sort of thing. So we just pray for that gentleman that he will find salvation. We've got to be merciful and save him.
But it was amazing how he was really seeming to nod and think sounds reasonable. So when we shared the gospel with him, in the end, he was looking like, it's hard for us, we can't see his heart, but we are excited because of his outward appearance was very grateful for hearing, and he shook our hand. He's here on holiday, and we just wished him that God would show him the truth, and that he would spend Australia with his son, and God would bless him in that. So we had it awesome. It was really good.
Yeah,
it was really good.
I also asked Mitch about his attitude towards sin, whether that's changed. And he said, well, although he in the past didn't just go into shops and steal, definitely in an area of, for example, lust, up until the conversation, he was thinking, it's a bit awkward, but not really offensive to God. But I asked him, so what's your opinion now? And he said, yeah, it's wrong. I hate it. I'm gonna turn from it. So it's great. He seemed to understand the right attitude towards his sin, that instead of loving it, he now hates it. Please pray for Mitch, and to God be the glory for another great night.